Okay, so welcome to week 4 of meditation practices. Today, we're going to talk about some devices that people use to help them stay on track. And as I was telling Jesse and Yokota, oops, and here's Sadiq, he's going to come in again. Great, we'll hope this one works. So excuse me while I pause and let him in. But in all of your comments, or many people's comments, the biggest obstacle to meditation is to just get there and do it. Okay, so he's having a lot of trouble. Yeah, the internet, it's not, oh, here he is, wonderful. Okay, great. Okay, Sadiq, how are you? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Hello, yeah, it's my husband's computer. It's not Sadiq, it's Miriam.
Oh, okay, Miriam, I know. I was like, I don't recognize it. Okay, I'm just going to change your name here.
Yeah, I'll do it here.
Here, I'm just going to rename you Miriam, okay?
Yeah, it's my husband, my laptop is not working, so I'm using his.
No worries. That happens very frequently, you know, and because I do teach quite a few classes, sometimes I space out who's in what's class. So great. Well, thank you for joining us, Miriam. I'm glad that you're here. So I was just saying that the biggest obstacle to meditation, of course, is just sitting down and doing it, you know, finding the time, carving out the time. But once you get there, then staying on task, dealing with that drunken monkey. I'm going to close this window over here too. Okay. All right, today is lawn day here in my neighborhood in West Ridge, it appears. Great. That makes a big difference for me. Okay. So today we're going to discuss some methods to keep you on task. We've already worked with the breath, which is one of the best because you always are breathing. But another way that people will keep their mind a little focused is working with mantra. Now, any of you here, you've heard the word mantra before, probably, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, cool. So one of the most common mantras is the sound Om. And Om is related to yoga primarily, you know, but I wanted to show you a little video about Om because Om is kind of a controversial sound, particularly in India right now, where the current Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, is he's kind of anti-Muslim, you know, and so he's trying to promote things like yoga and Om as being specifically Hindu, you know, whereas things, even the sound of Om, you know, is predates even Hinduism, even it is somewhat related to the sound Amen, because the sound Om begins deep, if you're saying it out loud, deep in the belly, it comes up through the thoracic chamber, you know, out the mouth, and instead of being Om, O-M, it's really Om. So if you're saying it out loud, then you are using almost all of the muscles of the mouth, and then you're using your head as like a chamber of sound. So chanting Om with people can be a very uplifting experience, but also chanting it silently to yourself, you know, can really help to move us inward. So I wanted to show this short little video. I guess I have to share the screen. I'm just going to click on the link here about the sound Om. And the guy has a pretty, I'm going to minimize you here. Has a pretty thick Indian accent, you know, but I think you guys can get it. In fact, maybe I'll do the subtitles, the closed captioning, so we can see it. Okay.
Om is a mantra and sound of Hindu origin. It's transcript in various scripts. Om is not from any language, not even from Sanskrit. Om means nothing and it also means everything. In Kathopanishad, it is said that all the Vedas talk about that goal to know which pupil take a life, study, and discipline is summarized as Om. In Sanskrit, the meaning of Om is Raksati, means one who protects, sustains. Another description is that Om has three sounds, A, U, and M. A signifies the beginning of universe. U signifies the life period of the universe. And M signifies the destruction of the universe. Hence, Om is the word which notifies the three main work of God. That is creation, operation, and destruction of universe. In another Upanishad, it is said that Bhutam Bhavad Bhavishyad iti sarvam Omkara eva. What had happened before, what is now, and what will be later, everything is just Om. Beyond all the mantra, Om has a very scientific base, which is proven already. When we chanted the Om mantra, sequentially activates the stomach, spinal cord, throat, nasal, and brain region. The energy moves from the abdomen all the way up to the brain, thereby channelizing energy and activating the spinal cord and brain. Our yogis also claim that chanting Om mantra improves our concentration, gives peace and steadiness to our mind, reduces mental stress, and clears all worldly thoughts. Hope you like our presentation. Please subscribe our social channel.
Okay. Okay, so just one little word, Om, and then the English spelling of it, of course, is Om, really packs quite a punch. Now, in other traditions of contemplation, there also are certain sounds or certain words, that one can use either out loud in a group, chanting together, or internally as well. So if you are trying to find a thought, oh, Kesh is here, wonderful. If you're trying to find a thought or a device to keep you on task, and you really are making a lot of words in your head, because that's what the mind does, right? Hi, Kesha, welcome.
Good morning.
Then that might be a sound that you can chant internally, just saying it over and over to yourself, not out loud. And sometimes I will say that when I start my meditation, if I just can't sit, I will chant it out loud for a while, because it just sounds wonderful to hear that resonance, in the head. But that might not be something that you are interested in. So I want to talk a little bit more about mantra. My desktop is a little bit of a mess here. Let's close some of these windows. Okay, oops, that's not it. And let's go to here. So a sound is, a mantra is a sound repeated to oneself. Now, it's fine to create a personal mantra or to find a mantra that is a little bit more up to date or specific to your personal habits and your life. So this is a kind of an interesting little article, The Power of Personal Mantra, how to write your own, and the writer goes through the idea of creating a mantra that are formed by the words defining your best self. So what is your best self and how do you approach that? And in this particular article, she reduces them to 7 words or phrases that will help her to be her best self. So if you are saying to yourself in your meditation, be kind, be kind, be kind, or create, 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 or listen, listen, or simply listing these words as a phrase, you'll find that they take on a very deep kind of internal meaning. There is, let's see, where's my Louise Hay? Okay, there is a woman named Louise Hay. Let's go to her home here. who wrote a book, Heal Your Body, in the 1970s. Now, I want to say Louise Hay is a little bit controversial. Then she also wrote another book, Love Your Body. And the reason that she is controversial is that some of her writings do say that it is entirely the mental over the physical. So I've been a fan of Louise Hay for a while, but I also know that when I had cancer, for instance, I didn't just chant affirmations. I went and I had my surgery, and I did the radiation treatment. However, for many of the issues in our lives, we can use chants, we can use affirmations, we can call those chants and affirmations mantras to help us to sustain that sense of positive feeling. In all of the readings that I have done during the pandemic about mental health, people's isolation and loneliness and a sense of ill-preparedness seem to dominate. So if we can do practices such as meditation to kind of clear out the negativity, then we can approach the world from a place of strength. So Louise Hay has some really wonderful affirmations, usually more than just one word, a phrase that at first glance, and I must say, I fell under this too, when someone first gave me her book in the very early 1980s, I thought, oh, this is just kind of cornball stuff, it's like Hallmark. But the repetition of these ideas of creativity, of beauty, of love, and of nourishment are really the stuff that makes us feel more positive and loving and ready to be in the world. So again, if you are feeling like you want to have some words to guide your meditation, you can go to the mantra Om, or Aum is really how it is said. There also is a Buddhist mantra that I really like to use, Mu, M-U, and that means nothing. So in some Buddhist meditation practices, the mantra that the meditators repeat over and over is Mu, Mu, Mu. In some meditative practices, people like, I don't know if you've ever heard of transcendental meditation. Give me a thumbs up if you've heard of that. Transcendental meditation with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Okay, so Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, I don't know if he's even still alive, but he was the guy that George Harrison of the Beatles studied with in the very early 1970s, actually the late 60s. And that's what brought all of the Beatles to India, and a Magical Mystery Tour, that famous album, ended up coming out of that. So transcendental meditation, or TM, focuses on meditating with a mantra. Now, to get your mantra, you work with a meditation teacher, and during an initiation ceremony, then that teacher will give you a mantra. The personal mantra that you are given is not really meant to be spoken out loud. So it's not like it's not like love, it's not like amen. And when you think about it, if you've ever been to a Christian church, the chanting, of amen, really has a mantra like kind of a sensibility to it. But what happens when we repeat a word or a phrase over and over to ourselves? The words and the sounds of the words take on a very deep and personal meaning. Now, negative words can do the same. In all of the research that people have done about a positive thinking, about self-esteem, they find that if someone is continually saying to themselves, I'm not worth it, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm weak, etc., the repetition of those words will also have an effect. So I'm suggesting that you try to work with a mantra in your meditation to help you to keep moving towards some kind of a positive way of thinking about yourself. It would be great if you could come up with your own mantra. I'm not going to take the time in this class to do it because the time goes so quickly and I want to be able to meditate. But in that article that I have on D2L, how to write your own mantra, she has several steps. One is brainstorming. What do you have to do to be truly you? So that phrase, truly you. Everyone has a very beautiful and loving, authentic self. But as we go through life, we experience these difficulties and these relationships that can sometimes corrupt that simplicity and that beauty. We kind of take on a sort of a patina of rust, or mold, or whatever you want to call it, in our self-regard. Meditation of all kinds can help to erode that patina and let our true self shine through. So in devising your own mantra, you can just get a pencil and paper and think, how do you want to be remembered? What are the words you want people to use to describe you? Write down a list of words and then edit them. And cross out words that are a little bit too specific. For instance, if you want to say, I want to complete a marathon, you could just edit that to complete, okay? Or run, or sweat, something like that. Then when you find that maybe you'll come up with 60 words, you edit them down to maybe 40 words, put them in a list in logical groupings. Like some of them might have to do with health, some of them might have to do with accomplishments, some of them might have to do with relationships. And from there, you might be able to glean a few words that you will be able to repeat over and over to yourself as a mantra. Similar, I'm going to share again, to the Louise Hay, nourishing myself is a joyful experience, and I am worth the time spent on my healing. I am an open channel for creative ideas. Most of the time, it seems like it works best to have your mantra or your affirmation in the present tense. Instead of saying, I will do this, or someday I will own this, whatever it happens to be, it's better to say it in the present tense. I am, I feel, I do. And that will help to make it a little bit more real rather than something being, in the future. So I encourage you to do this as a little assignment, and again, it's in the article that is on D2L, these steps: brainstorm, edit, group, put them in groups, and then kind of determine what this writer calls the forever words. The words that are going to transcend the specific time that you were in. So Jessie shared with me, I'm sorry, Jessie, I hope this is not, a breach of confidence, that she was in an
yeah, not at all.
Okay, that she was in an automobile accident this weekend. And that's really scary for a lot of reasons. Obviously she's okay. She's here with us physically, but she may have gotten a little whiplash. There's just that jarring sense. And more important, there is that sense that as you move through life, there is imminent danger. So if to try to heal from that trauma, her mantra for a while may be, I move through the world in safety. That can help to set an intention to feel confident, and even, kind of open up channels to getting the car fixed, getting another car if it can't be fixed, those sorts of things. Because I'm not sure if I shared this with you when we did the yoga nidra, which we'll do again today. That is the yoga sleep. At the beginning of a yoga nidra practice, we always do set a sankalpa or an affirmation, an intention, which is pretty much what we're talking about. And in a time that I had a very unreliable car, and before the pandemic, when I was driving all over Chicago, going to like sometimes 3 gigs a day, I needed to be safe. And so that was my sankalpa, that was my mantra for meditation. I move through the world safely and confidently. And lo and behold, I did end up getting another car then after mine got wrecked. So it's not that there's always a cause and effect, but it can kind of help you to figure out, like perhaps my path would have been to really resign myself to using CTA or always riding my bike, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So mantra. Now, saying a word, saying a phrase over and over and over again can get a little bit boring. And again, our mind will start to wander. So I'm going to go ahead and pin myself here for the, let's see, pin. Yeah, for this part, because in the recording, I want people to be able to see. If you do have a mantra, once you determine a mantra that you want to use, it can be, it's going to fly out of your mind when you're meditating anyway. So to have some kind of a physical occupation to keep you on task, many cultures will use some kind of beads for meditation. In Catholicism, they use a rosary. In Islam, I always forget the name of it, but there also are some beads that people will use to recite the prayers with. In Greece, there also are prayer beads. And in some Native American cultures, First Nation cultures, they also will use some sort of meditative devices. Now, these beads can be on a string, or if you're, for instance, a stone or a shell collector, you can put them in a pile, and every time you say your mantra, take it from one pile to the other. These specifically are mala beads. Mala beads do come from India. It is an Indian tradition, and there are 108 beads, and then the mother bead to kind of tie them together. So why 108? Well, 108. Whoops, I'm going to go back to where we are here. Uh-oh, did I lose my class? Sorry. I have to go back to D2L. Okay. I don't know how that happened. Excuse me. But the word, the number of 108 is found in a lot of different traditions. I wanted to talk about that a little bit with you here with another, let me say mudra hand position. Okay, here we go. What is so sacred about the number 108? Let's go here. Okay. Continue as a guest. Here we go. Oh, I don't even want to chat with you. Stop it. Stop it. How do I get out of here? There. Okay. So you may have, those of you who were living in Chicago a couple of years ago when the Chicago Cubs won the pennant for the first time in 108 years, you'll find in popular culture and in mystical culture and in science that the number 108 represents the unity and wholeness of existence. It is part of the Fibonacci sequence, which defines the spiral, nature's secret code, and also the golden mean or the golden ratio, which if you've ever studied art, you will talk about. So go ahead and take a look through this article here. Sometimes the number 1 represents authority and leadership, new beginnings, taking initiative, and embarking on a new path of progress. The number 0 represents both nothingness and eternity. Number 8 is power, influence, abundance, and achievement. And if we put the number 8 on its side, it is infinity. A yantra is a design that is meant to explore and expand on some of the metaphysical secrets of the universe, and in this mantra, the mathematical equations used to design it are based on 108. If you know about the chakras, and we will talk a little bit about the subtle body and the chakras later, the heart chakra is a very powerful place in the physical body and also the metaphysical body. And all of the chakras are represented by a lotus with a certain number of petals. Oops, somebody else is here, Kesha. She must have got out. Sorry, Kesha. Okay. In Buddhism, there are 108 defilements, 108 earthly temptations. The Tibetans have 108 sacred books, etc., etc., etc. So 108 makes a big difference. And then again, what this reminds many people in the West of are rosary beads, which again are 108. And so for each of the beads, you say a prayer or recite a mantra. Now, in the Hindu tradition, in the Indian tradition, it's very specific how you use your mala beads. You use only the index finger and the thumb. You keep your elbow elevated, starting at one end, and say I was going to do the mantra Om. I would move one bead and say Om. 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 Silently, of course. Om. Om. Om, until I get to 108. And depending on how quickly you're doing it, depending on your breath, that'll keep you meditating for, maybe 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Many yoga communities will use this as a counter for the repetition of Om 108 times. There also is a series of yoga poses called the sun salutation, that have 9 poses in it. And so repeating that 12 times is 108. So for better or for worse, it's a very significant number. Now, when I teach meditation, it's great if you can go out and get a set of mala beads, if that is something that you like, but you can use any beads. I've even meditated with Mardi Gras beads. And I don't know how many beads are on the Mardi Gras chain, but I do know that because of my personal physical hyperactivity, just simply moving my fingers from one bead to the other helps to keep me on task and helps to keep me sitting in the meditation. Any questions about that?
No, it's good information.
Okay. Have any of you ever used mala beads or prayer beads or rosary beads of some kind?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was raised Catholic. And so, yeah, I got my first rosary beads when I was, had my first communion. And then my aunt went to Rome and I had rosary beads that were, blessed by the Pope and all that kind of thing. And you probably all, Madonna, the artist Madonna, is still sometimes in the public eye. She, of course, did a lot of her popular music based on Catholicism, and she, would wear rosary beads. People, you'll see yogis wearing their mala beads a lot of times too. And that is simply so that they can have them with them. So you get a chance to meditate. There's your mala beads. And they can also look pretty cool. I happen to have 3 sets of them. You know, these are just some kind of wood beads. You know, I think these were given to me as a gift. I'm not sure. These are rosewood. These beads, okay, and these are made out of turmeric. Okay, so it's just pressed, and they're different lengths because of the sizes of the beads, you know, and the tension of the string. But they all have 100. Sorry. Oh, okay. So anyway, again, what we're trying to do is just to get ourselves to sit. So one other method, you know, that we can use to allow ourselves to stay on task, and this is a little bit more esoteric. Okay, I'm going to go back here. Our hand positions called mudra. A mudra is a hand position that creates a circuit of energy. So I want to show you a little slideshow. Here we go. Can we get this full screen? Yeah, I'm going to have to make it a little bit bigger here. Okay. So sometimes people call mudra yoga for your hands. All right. They're poses for the hands, face, and important areas of the body. Mostly when we think of mudras, we think of hand positions. However, if you do end up studying yoga, every time one part of your body touches the other part of the body in yoga practices, those are very, very specific so that we can create these kind of closed circuits of energy so that all of the energy isn't, you know, kind of flying out the fingertips or the top of the head, etc. You can use the mudras in conjunction with pranayama, pranayama are breathing practices. We've already done several pranayama practices, with meditation, you know, and with asana, which are yoga poses. So in Sanskrit, mudra means seal or gesture. The connection of the fingers activates these specific elements of the body. The fire element, the thumb, the air element, the index finger, the sky element, often called ether, the earth element, and the water element. So simply by connecting those fingers, you will increase the energy of that element in your body. Again, scientific evidence. It's so reinforcing as you study these to see that there have been studies that will show that these mudras are effective. Okay. They can help deepen your yoga practice. They awaken what we call the subtle body, create a connection to the divine, however you just decide that is, and you know, everybody has hands. Now, I say that with a little bit of trepidation because one of my private clients actually has some birth defects and she doesn't have that many fingers. And so when we practice mudra, you know, there's only a few that we can use, but they are really very effective. And she finds that they really do calm her down. So again, there's that. Now, Gyan mudra, you know, or chin mudra, is one of the most common. And when you see people meditating, you often will see them with their hands in this kind of position. This is a very powerful and very simple to do mudra. It really does increase your concentration. It helps to empower your mind, and it symbolizes unified consciousness. So usually it's done with the palm facing up, and that is a receptive position. However, if you are feeling like your energy is kind of flying all over the place, you can have your palms facing down, and then that will contain the energy within the body. Upon mudra. This helps with digestion, removal of toxins, and generates feelings of serenity, harmony, and confidence. So let's just take a moment, you know, and try some of these. So just close your eyes right now Connect your index fingers and your thumbs. Rest your hands on your lap and close your eyes and breathe. Have your fingers touching loosely, not pressing really hard, but you will find that with the inhale, the fingers might either come apart or move together, and with the exhale, the opposite. Because of the nerve endings in your fingers, you do start to feel a sense of the energetic charge. Now, Apan mudra is another very powerful mudra. So try that. The ring finger and the middle finger. And just close your eyes. Let your tongue relax in your mouth. And perhaps you can say something like peace, or the Sanskrit word shanti to yourself. And then gently opening your eyes, Pran mudra. The little finger and the ring finger touch the thumb. This is associated with the root chakra, which we will learn about when we talk about the subtle body, the sense of grounding, the sense of feeling like you have a very solid place in the world. Often we do feel like we are just kind of floating around, with the winds and not grounded. So if you do feel that way, sometimes taking this mudra and just taking a few breaths, and you can say as a mantra something like, I am connected to the earth. Drupati Mudra. This is a wonderful one to use in seated meditation, intertwining all of the fingers except the index finger and the thumb. Some of the benefits are increasing your inspiration and your decisiveness. Just give it a try. Close your eyes for just a moment. Just notice the sensations, the physical sensations. Notice the thoughts. A mantra for this might be, there is an answer. Anjali Mudra, the Namaste Mudra. The palms are together, often in front of the heart. It's an expression of love and gratitude. And the way that the hands are fit together, it also symbolizes, I believe I said this in the first day, the individual connected with the collective. The divine in me bows to the divine in you. And there's some of the resources that you can use. All right, let me close this guy. Okay, so feel free to kind of play with those a little bit. And here's just, if you're wondering, if you like, oh, I don't want to go through the whole PowerPoint presentation, here is a little bit of an outline, of some of the, there's a few other mudras here that are in this, but you can check this out. Oh, this mudra, the Prithvi mudra, earth mudra. Sometimes I find myself, if I'm feeling really scattered and I just sit down, my hands will automatically go in this position. So this feels to me like it is part of that body wisdom, part of that way of just really thinking, okay, I can devise a way to make myself more grounded. Okay. All right. Any questions about that stuff? All right. I think it's time to meditate. Okay. So what we'll do today, is we'll do a little bit of sitting meditation. And then I want to do a yoga nidra practice with you again, because we did that last week, and we'll do it a couple more times throughout the term. Yoga nidra is something, again, that you can practice at any time. Those of you who like a guided meditation, you can find recordings of people guiding you in yoga nidra. You can, of course, listen to this if you would like. But my yoga nidra teacher, whose name is Mia Park, M-A-A-P-A-R-K, and I have her mentioned on the D2L, has a Spotify album that is just called Mia Park. It's not called Yoga Nidra, where she has a 5-minute, 10-minute, and 20-minute yoga nidra practice. And for my own practice, when I really need to meditate, which is every day, I, am pretty good at my meditation, not always, I'm not an angel. But if I can't just sit there, my mantra's not working, my mala beads just feel like they're getting all tangled up, et cetera, then I'll just listen to a yoga nidra. And it's also a great little substitute for a nap, because you relax so much. So let's go ahead and stand up, and let's stretch a little bit at first, okay? Because then we're going to sit for about 20 minutes and do about a 20-minute yoga nidra practice. So wherever you are, go ahead and get yourself to stand. Shift your weight one to the other. And then maybe you'll start to swing your arms a little bit, getting a little bit of a twist, back and forth. And then coming back to center, have your feet just a little wider than your hips. Take your hands over your heart, intertwine your fingers. I'm going to turn sideways. You can see that when I exhale, I'm going to push things away, really rounding the spine. And inhaling, coming into a little bit of a back bend or a big back bend. Exhaling, just take the hands forward towards your heart again. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, you want to come back into a prayer position here. Inhaling, coming up. And then just go side to side to side. Now let's reach up. Bending the knees softly, just gently dive down. Now stay here for just a moment. Let your tailbone grow long. Move your head side to side. Nod your head up and down. Then planting your feet, reaching out and up on the inhale. Exhale, diving down. Go nice and slow. We'll do one more. Inhale. And then exhale. And then slowly rolling up. And roll your shoulders back. Okay, and let's come and sit in meditation. I'm going to move my computer here, and my cat Trudy has taken over my meditation cushion. I bought this meditation cushion last winter, and I was so excited about it. But as you can see, this cat taking it over. She really loves it, but that's okay. We'll just let her sit right there. Except that I'm going to move you. Yeah, get out of the way. Okay, I'm going to sit back a little bit. So find a place where you are comfortable, whether it's in a chair, or whether it's on a cushion. Maybe the legs will be crossed. Maybe you'll be in diamond pose. Maybe your legs will be extended, but do try to extend your spine. You might want to roll your shoulders a little bit. We didn't do any of that. Maybe the head side to side. And then let's come back to center. Now let's first try to work with a mudra. So do take your hands, palms up, and connect your index fingers and your thumbs in Gyan Mudra. Keeping the spine lifted, sliding the shoulder blades down the back, lean back into your shoulder blades, draw your tailbone down, have a downward gaze, and let your eyes close. Let your tongue relax in your mouth. Let the expression on your face grow soft. And now let's focus on our breathing. Breathing through your nose, inhale and exhale. Long, slow, smooth breaths. Let's do the 3-part yoga breath, Dirga Pranayama. When you inhale, bring your breath all the way down into the low belly, fill the side hips and the back of the pelvis. Exhale, empty the pelvic bowl. Inhaling, fill the pelvis, lift the rib cage and spread the ribs in 4 directions. Exhale, empty the pelvis and empty the rib cage. Inhale, fill the pelvis, fill the rib cage, lift the heart and spread your shoulder blades. Exhale, empty the pelvis, the rib cage, the upper chest and shoulders. Inhale, pelvis, rib cage, upper chest and shoulders. Exhale, pelvis, rib cage, upper chest and shoulders. And continue in silence for a few rounds. And gently drop your chin to the chest. Slowly blink your eyes open and release the mudra. Do you have any feedback about how it felt to use the mudra? Okay. I wanted to revisit Nadi Shadan, the alternate nostril breathing, because we do use mudra when we do that in a traditional way. You know, now we live in 21st century America, and this kind of postmodern eclectic attitude towards practices is part of cultural change. So it's okay, you know, if you use these in a different way than you were taught, but there are some traditions, and it's really good to understand those traditions. So in alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shadan, which we did last week, generally the left hand is in Gyan Mudra. So I think I'm mirroring you, so it's going to be your right side. And then the hand position that we used for the right hand is called Vishnu Mudra. So for that, the index finger and the thumb come to either the palm of the hand or the base of the thumb, and you use the ring finger and the thumb. Now, another thing about mudras is that it keeps your hands flexible. In this day and age, our hands are doing this or this or this all the time, or holding on to the car or carrying whatever. So you will maintain a certain amount of flexibility if you can learn to practice mudra. So let's just give it a try. We'll use 4 counts, index finger, middle finger to the base of the thumb, controlling the breathing with the thumb and the ring finger. Now, you don't even have to close the nostril. You can just touch it, and that will stimulate your breath to just move through the opposite nostril. I don't recall who said that it kind of hurt their nose. In fact, when I practice Nadi Shodhana, I don't even use my hands because you can train yourself to just inhale through one nostril and exhale through the other. So if this bothers you, don't use it. Things are only good if they make you feel better. Okay, you don't even have to use any mudra after this class, but give it a try right now. So we have Gyan Mudra and we have Vishnu Mudra for the right hand. Sitting tall, very gently touch or even press slightly closed your right nostril and inhale through the left nostril for 4, 2, 3, 4. Then hold the breath for 4, 2, 3, 4. Open the right nostril and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Hold closed. 2, 3, 4. Open left, exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Open left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Hold closed. 2, 3, 4. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Last hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Now relax your right hand. If you'd like, take Gyan Mudra with both hands. Sit in silence for a few moments. Feeling the effect of that breathing. Then gently drop your chin to the chest. Slowly blink your eyes open. Release the mudra. Let's just stretch just a little bit here. Maybe a little twist. If you need to, you can go ahead and get up even. I'm gonna open my windows again. So the long guys are gone. And now let's try a brief meditation working with a mantra. If you have a mantra that you are interested in using, that you habitually use, that's great. If you have a quality that you are trying to encourage in yourself, like patience or kindness, you can repeat that word or a phrase. You can also use a more traditional mantra like Aum, just to say that over and over again. You can combine the mantra with a mudra. If we do a Pan mantra, the mantra, or the mudra, I'm sorry, the mudra for harmony. Come on, Trudy, move a little bit. You might want to say peace or the Sanskrit word shanti. Or you can combine them and say Aum Shanti. Aum Shanti. So choose a sound, choose a mudra, earth mudra, Gyan mudra. Water mudra is your pinky finger. If you feel like you're kind of dry, although it's so humid, I don't know that anyone's feeling that way. Or go ahead and try the middle finger and the ring finger to the thumb. Breathe. When it feels right, begin to repeat your word or your phrase, your mantra. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Other words and other thoughts will try to interrupt you. Notice them, allow them to be there, and simply return your attention to your mantra. If the mudra does not serve you, simply relax your hands. the sound of the bell, deepen your breath. Become aware of the space around you, of your body in that space. Then gently drop your chin to the chest. Slowly blink the eyes open. Release the mudra if you're using one. And open your eyes. If you have any feedback, if you feel like speaking, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. If not, that's okay. We'll move into the position for our last meditation, Yoga Nidra. I do want to remind you that while many people will recommend meditating daily for an hour every day, or even 30 minutes every day, there are no hard and fast rules. And particularly if you are a beginning meditator, it's much more difficult to not only carve out that time, but to commit to that time. So I'm hoping that in offering you these various techniques, you can just find little spaces in your day to be able to sit, put your hands in a position, recite a mantra, maybe finger some beads, and that will do the work, of the calming of the mind. So for Yoga Nidra, if possible, you will lie on your back. And if you have a couple of blankets or towels or a couple of cushions, it's best to have one beneath your head and one beneath your legs. Of course, I have yoga blankets, but I also have lots of cushions and things, so almost everybody has some kind of cushions. You can even take your bed pillows. Just finding something to elevate your skull, because lying on your back for 20 minutes can get a lot of pressure, So just on your skull, not your shoulders, and then you're opening that cervical spine. And then your other blanket will be beneath your knees or your thighs. So as you take a moment to get settled, I'm going to put a more interesting image here. Let's see. So that if you do open your eyes, you're not necessarily looking at me. Full screen. There we go. So allow yourself to get settled. Shifting here and there, getting yourself as comfortable as possible. And then feel the heaviness of your body. Know that everything is okay. Nothing else matters right now. You have nowhere to go and nothing to do. Here to simply feel your body and to listen. If you do not hear everything I say, that is fine. It's natural to flow in and out of conscious hearings. The deepest part of you, your core self, is always listening. Whatever your experience today, this practice will still work. There is no way to do this wrong. Simply listen without trying too hard. If you feel yourself falling asleep, simply say to yourself, I am no longer practicing Yoga Nidra. I'm falling asleep. And allow yourself to do so. Feel your natural breath. Allow your breath to flow through you. When you inhale, say to yourself the number 10. When you exhale, say to yourself the number 10. Inhale 9, exhale 9, and continue to count backwards to yourself until you reach the number 1. Go deep inside now and notice your heart's longing. What changes do you desire in your life? Create a sankalpa, an affirmation based on your heart's longing. A positive statement in the present tense, as though it's already happening. For example, rather than I will be relaxed or I will not be stressed out, state with feeling something like I flow through life with ease and peace. I am relaxed. Take a moment and come up with your own intention, your own affirmation, your own sankalpa, and state it 3 times as though it is already happening. Now let your consciousness move through your body as I guide you. When I mention a body part, deeply relax that body part, and then move on to the next when prompted. Bring your awareness to the tip of your right thumb and deeply relax your right thumb. Relax your right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and small finger. Relax the palm of your right hand, right wrist and elbow, right shoulder and chest. Relax your right side body, your hip and your groin, right knee, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and small toe. Bring your awareness to your left thumb and deeply relax your left thumb. Left index finger, middle finger, ring finger and small finger, palm of the left hand, left wrist and elbow, shoulder and armpit. Relax your left chest and side body, hip and groin. Relax your knee, your ankle, left heel, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and small toe. Relax the whole left side of the body. Relax the whole right side of the body. Relax the whole body. Feel the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. Feel your breath in your heart center. Feel your breath in your throat. Feel your breath in that space between your eyebrows. Now imagine a blank screen in front of your eyes, your forehead, like a movie screen. As you gaze at the screen, you may see colors, lights, patterns, images. These images are the reflection of the subconscious on the screen of your mind. Observe with a sense of detached relaxation. Allow the images to shift, dissolve, and change. Become aware of your breath. Rest your breath at the eyebrow center. Rest your breath at the throat center. Rest the breath at the heart center. This is the center of your emotional well-being. Allow your breath to bring healing energy into your body and into your mind. Remember now the intention you set at the beginning of this practice. Say it to yourself now as though it is already happening. Find your resolve and inhale it into your body, letting it fill every cell. Begin to become aware of the space around you. Notice the quietness of that space. Notice your body in that space. Touch the tip of your index finger to your thumb and to the other fingers, gently waking up the hands. Begin to move your fingers and your toes, your arms and your legs, gently waking up the body. Slowly roll to your side and slowly and gently push up to sit. Feel your breath as divine light. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Open your eyes. If you have any comments, feel free to express them, or you can simply drop off the Zoom. Thank you so much for practicing with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was so calming.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the prayer beads for the Islamic prayer beads, you say you forgot what they were called. They're called dhikr beads.
Dhikr beads, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I need to write that down and I'm going to put that in the Zoom because that's very important.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have
so
a
much.
good one.
All right, you do the same.